Hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. In this video, we're going to be reacting to our second Elvis and the Black Community. It says part 2 actually. Um, but before we do that, I'm just going to give a quick shout out to the person that posted the link for this video. The person is C Watson 89103. So thank you so much, C Watson, for being so kind and getting us the link for this one. All right. I'm sorry it has been, by the time I'm recording this, when the link was posted, it was 2 weeks away. Apologies for the delay, but it has just been a crazy few weeks. Until next time. Not seen it yet. All right. Without any further ado, people, let's go check it out. This person says that this one is a lot more informative than the first one, so I'm actually quite intrigued. Let's go.
Welcome back, you guys, to the S&M squad. It's your boy Sean
and your girl Mel.
Your favorite couple, y'all.
Yes, we are.
Definitely make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified.
And guys, don't forget to join the S&M squad.
Yes, sir. Whoa, Nelly.
The first time I met Elvis, I was in Las Vegas in the 70s. I was the conductor and music director for B.B. King, the Blues Act. We were opening in the Las Vegas Hilton's main room as the opening act for. Well, we had no idea Elvis was there, nor did she.
That's a beautiful picture, isn't it? Him like that. I wonder what was that?
We were opening in the Las Vegas Hilton's main room as the opening act for. Well, we had no idea Elvis was there, nor did she, so we were watching her act from backstage, and in her act, she walked around the main room in the audience, and she always stopped at this certain table.
That morning when I walked into the dining room, I spoke. I said, "Good morning." He said, "Good morning." I said, "What are we going to have for breakfast this morning?" He said, "Fried peanut butter and banana sandwich." And I looked at him. I said, "What?" He said, "Fried peanut butter and banana sandwich." I said, "I never heard of it." The first time I went in, fixed the sandwich and put it on the tray and brought it back, that wasn't right.
Did he say fried peanut butter and banana sandwich?
His father was sitting there, and he said, "Mary, I'm going with you and help you. And let's see, maybe both of us can get it right." I said, "Okay." And he said, "Let's toast the bread first." So we toast the bread and then spread the peanut butter on it and sliced the bananas and put on it and put them into the skillet and kept turning them with the spatula and turned them till they got heated all the way through. Then I take them and cut them, put them on the platter and taking them back to me. And he said, "That's what I want, that's right." And then smile.
Life, but he'll always live because of the fact he was such a beautiful man. I don't care what nobody say. I know Elvis. You know, there are a lot of rumors. Elvis and I sang spiritual together. And he kept me from being number one. I was number one soul and he was number one world. And it took a long time, but it's almost like the two rental cars. It made me try harder. And I love Elvis for it. And we'll always pray for Elvis.
Do you remember that? Do you remember?
But that is healthy competition, though, isn't it? So some people could take that as a reason to hate somebody, but he saw that as healthy competition. It makes you try harder. That's what it is meant to be like. Not see it as...
It took a long time, but it's almost like the two rental cars. It made me try harder. And I love Elvis for it. And we'll always pray for Elvis.
Do you remember that? Do you remember? It wasn't actually, you don't really meet Elvis, you actually just look at Elvis, okay? My mother sang with Elvis for years. Yeah. She and her group, they were called the Sweet Inspirations. Yeah. They also sang for Aretha for many, many years. On most of the, in the 60s, they were on all of Aretha's songs. Well, Elvis took a liking to them, and my mom sang with him for many years. And they were very close.
Yeah.
I just remember at one point being in a room, and we were all in this room, my mother and the singers, and we, the usually backstage kind of thing. And he just walks in the room with his mink on, with his glasses on.
Oh my God.
And he just walks in, he says something, and everybody just, you don't say anything, you just look. It was just one of those moments I won't forget as a kid.
Oh my
it wasn't
God.
like, hi, Mr. Elvis, nice to meet you. You didn't do that. You just sat back and just looked at him. He was amazing to look at.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Wow.
And just to be in his presence was awesome.
Tell me about that.
But isn't that amazing, isn't it? This is what I've always kind of thought, kind of watching him, that he's got to be a presence, isn't it? Like, just being there. And it's just absolutely amazing. Like, hear people describe him like that. Like, you don't say anything, you just kind of observe. Like, it's just the presence enough speaks volume.
Look at.
Yeah.
Just amazing.
Wow.
And just to be in his presence was awesome.
Tell me about that. Well, when they first called, the girl said, Elvis Presley, oh my God, what are we going to do? I said, hey, it's a gig and it's a good one.
Uh-huh.
So we went, and when we got there, it was nothing like what we might have thought, because it was just wonderful. It was really wonderful. He was into gospel. So every once in a while when we finish rehearsing with him, we just sing gospel, all of us, And we just had a good time. He would get good money and good pay and it was nice atmosphere, and we didn't go around with him as his friends. We worked for him. So we saw him at work or at rehearsals. So I don't know what he did in between, nor did I care. I just doing what I was supposed to do, and we were.
The Sweet Inspirations.
Times we've talked on television and had interview situations, I've never asked you about Elvis.
What you want to know?
When did that all start? When did the whole love for Elvis begin?
He teases me about Elvis all the time.
But
And
never on the air. Never.
No, when he says, like, if Elvis was alive now, he says, man, you wouldn't even hang out with Elvis. I said, yes, I would. He said, man, Elvis would be in the lobby of your house like, say, man, is Eddie there? And I would be in the room, hey, what's going on, man? He told me to come over. Oh, I know what's going on. All right. But when I was a kid, see, Elvis Presley to me, it's his presence, I think it is. I don't think anyone in this business has had as much presence as Elvis. I don't think anyone's had as strong a presence. I think there have been entertainers. I think Michael Jackson's the only entertainer who's ever been more famous than him. But I think Elvis has more presence. Like when Elvis walked in the room, everybody just looked at Elvis. When he's on the screen, you looked at Elvis. He just had this thing about him. And he was going through all this stuff with drugs and all this craziness. But on screen and on stage, he always looked like he was in control. And that's amazing because there was this wall going on inside this guy. And I'm just fascinated.
Because the black community obviously felt that we shouldn't be doing it. So Ebony Magazine, in fact, called us and wanted to know, we got a lot, why are you singing with Elvis Presley? Why not? and sometimes we get shot back with, well, you know what he said about black people. Yeah, I heard that story too. But I also heard the one he said about Mexican people. It's the same story. What he said about the story is, Elvis Presley said, all a black person, I'm using that, can do for me is shine my shoes. Mexicans have the story. All a Mexican can do for me is shine my shoes. That's also attributed to Elvis. That's a story, that's a rumor made up by some rock and roll singer who wanted to be where Elvis was, I suppose. Because as far as I'm concerned, Elvis treated us royally. And if he said it, I don't care, because there's things that I've said I don't want anybody repeating.
Yeah, but oh my days, people, man. So nobody can actually pick a moment when that was actually said by Elvis. I think context matters, and it's important that we just don't tarnish somebody's image based on a rumor. You see this day and age as well, where somebody can cut a clip from somebody's YouTube channel and just say, oh, look at this person, look at what they said. And not until you actually pick up the full video and actually try and put the pieces together, you don't understand. So somebody that's working with him is not able to kind of go, oh yeah, he said this. But then nobody else can actually come out and say, oh yeah, this is when he said it, and this is this it's just, it sounds a little bit suspicious for me.
Royally. And if he said it, I don't care, because there's things that I've said I don't want anybody repeating.
I'm going to be an Elvis impersonator.
Obviously, you see the irony here. You've got a black man imitating a white man who sounded like a black man.
I respect Elvis for what he did for music. You know, he opened a lot of doors for a lot of folks back there during a time when they wouldn't even, quote unquote, play the music on radio. So this is a tribute to Elvis.
At first, yes.
Yeah, I mean, they said he's playing black music. He's a white guy.
Yeah, but see, at first he was...
Hold on a second. I just wanted to address that quickly. What did the color of the person or the sound of the person have to do with wanting to pay tribute to the person? Anybody, you can pay tribute to anyone. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay, Kings. I suppose it's the time, isn't it? I suppose it's the time. At that point in time, there were these restrictions, which is a little bit sad, really. It's restrictions in people's way of thinking. I say that it's sad. We've got some of that right now.
Music on radio. So this is a tribute to Elvis.
It's paying tribute.
At first, yes.
Yeah, I mean, they said he's playing black music. He's a white guy.
Yeah, but see, at first he was playing more like rockabilly. He wasn't really getting into the things that he started to do later. But when he started to do that, then he started to turn heads, including mine.
Yeah, it did? So
yes.
What did you see then?
I saw that he had everything. The looks, he had the talent.
He had the rhythm, the soul.
He had everything. To me, he had everything. You know, you started looking at the guys, God almighty, he's handsome, he's tall, he looks good, he can sing, he can play.
Got a lot of women.
Well, I didn't see, I didn't see women disliking him, but he was just, I didn't see him after them either. But I guess had I been handsome like that, I probably would have.
He's a handsome man, to be fair.
Black cats,
I've already said this.
keep away from me. Take my advice, go shinny up a tree. I've got hard luck, the hardest kind of luck you'll find. I ain't lying, I've got the bluest kind of blues.
In the 60s and early 70s, when tensions between blacks and whites were at an all-time high, Elvis demonstrated his desire for racial reconciliation in the musicians that he chose and the treatment they received.
He believed that he had a certain connection with God, not so much more than anybody else did, but in his search, he was trying to get close to God. So he felt that by helping others, maybe that was his mission.
Different than other kids I grew up with. I'd hang around parts of Tupelo my folks never even knew about. If Mama had known where I was half the time, I would have caught hell for it. This friend of mine used to take me across town to an area called Shake Rag. And that was when I first heard the blues.
This is the house that Elvis bought for me. He bought it in 1974. And he came and picked the house out for me. And I liked it, and he liked it. So he said, well, Mary, this is your house, if you like it. I told him I loved it. It was really nice.
There must be lights burning brighter somewhere. Got to be birds flying higher in a sky more blue. If I can dream of a better land where all my brothers walk hand in hand, tell me why, oh why, oh why can't my dream come true?
That was really nice, wasn't it? That was really beautiful. I really liked it. I like the fact that it was so genuine. I like the fact that it was people giving a full account of their experience, which mostly was positive. I like the fact that it kind of contradicts the nonsense that has been spilled out there, and also the fact that people really need to do their homework before they start spewing rubbish. I say that to say this. No human being is ever perfect. The fact that we're humans means we're flawed. And if every one of us would be criticized for our worst moments, then I don't think any of us would be able to walk out of our front door. So, yes, he had a lifestyle that maybe other people wouldn't choose, but we are born with free will. And when we're born with free will, it means that we can make certain decisions. To others might be unwise, but that still doesn't stop us from making our decisions. Yes, we can all step in and try and help each other when we see that our brother is going down the wrong path. But ultimately, there needs to be that desire to want to change. And if the desire isn't there, then it becomes a little bit tricky. But his desire and determination to want to ensure that people are treated equally and with respect, people are paid fairly. And I was just looking at that thinking, when they said that he wanted to draw recognition to the Black community by the people that he chose, would it just only be that, or would it be the case of picking the best people for the job? Just like when we're in modern day where we talk about quotas, oh, we've got to pick this people, so that we've got to pick this people, we've got to pick those people, we've got to pick those people, just to make sure we look as though we are practicing, we've got an inclusive practice. We use stupid words to try and navigate our ignorance sometimes, rather than say we're picking the people that are best for the job. I say that I didn't realize that somebody's likely to misunderstand what I meant by all of that. And then call me out, which is fine. Okay, which is fine because ultimately I feel like we just need to be honest with ourselves what we really want our life, isn't it? My man was. How about you? All right, people, let me know in the comment section below what you think about this one. My days. It was only an 11-minute video. I've ended up 20 something minutes now. I talk too much. I think that's what my problem is. Which is why we've got a podcast where we address issues such as this. Do let us know what you think about the podcast. We've got a YouTube channel that's linked to the podcast, and also the podcast is available on all major platforms. It is called the Curious Edge Podcast. We've just, at the time of recording this, we've got 5 episodes out. It comes out at 6 p.m. UK time every Friday, so feel free to check it out. And any feedback, good or bad, would be most appreciated. Let me know. Keep recommending, and I will try to react to them as quickly as possible. I have recently reacted to If I Can Dream. Hopefully by the time you're listening to this, I've been able to post it. If you haven't seen it, it means he hasn't let me post it. So fingers crossed. All right, people. Until next time, you guys make sure you continue to like, subscribe, and join our community. And do you make sure you look after yourself. It has been Kings. Peace. Bye for now.